this way, that'll be really grateful, because I cannot see everybody when I'm looking. So maybe use a pillar if you if you're sitting on the side. Maybe sit next to Mataji there as well. You can do that, so I can see everybody. Dilraj, can you move here, please? Lakshmi, I can't see you. You had to get called out. So we're just gonna do Simran for just a few minutes while the Sangat here is just setting up. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you so much for the amazing Kirtan. Honestly, it was just out of this world. Thank you so much. So we're just gonna dedicate about a few minutes, 2-3 minutes, to some Simran, and then we'll get started with our monthly Katha. Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru. Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru. Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru. Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru. Dandot Vandan Anek Baar, Sarv Kala Samrat, Dolan Te Rakho Prabhu, Nanak De Kar Hath, Main nahi kach ho nahi kich ahi na mora, अवसर लज्जा राख ले हो सदना जन तोरा वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Sangat Ji, you're very blessed to be here in the century of the King of Kings, Tan Tan Shri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. You're very blessed souls to be here, to be learning, to be understanding the message that Guru Arjan Dev Ji are sharing with us through their beautiful composition of Barah Maha Maanjh, Bani for the month of Jeth. We're very blessed to be here. Cannot emphasize it enough. We've gathered here today to learn about the month of Jeth. Sangat Ji, we're all trying to find clarity in this chaotic life. Our Guru, the words of our Guru Gurbani, is our only true support, is our only true guidance in this chaotic world and in this chaotic mind. Scientists have now discovered something that Guru Nanak Dev Ji talked about more than 500 years ago. There's a Harvard quantum physicist, Harvard is a very prestigious university, a Harvard quantum physicist, he said there's a fourth stage or fourth state of human consciousness, which is beyond the three common state of mind, which is waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. So this fourth state of human consciousness is a higher level of awareness, which is beyond these three common states of the human mind. So Sangat Ji, think about the mind like an iceberg. So when we close our eyes, when we picture an iceberg, what we look at when we picture an iceberg is we see the surface level of the iceberg. We see the top of the iceberg. But the main chunk of the iceberg, let's say 95% of it, is actually submerged underwater. So the mind is like that. What we're doing right now, what we're functioning with in our day-to-day life, we're functioning at the surface level of the mind. The mind is active, the mind is thinking, the mind is overthinking, sometimes the mind is chaotic. That's surface level activity of the mind. But deep within, there are quieter and quieter levels of the mind that are more silent, are more powerful. As human beings, we're mostly just functioning at this surface level, which involves waking up, eating, going to school, going to work, thinking, overthinking, getting these chaotic interfering thoughts every single day, negative chatter with ourselves, thinking negatively about ourselves and others. That's all we're doing at the moment. We're only at the surface level. We haven't even tapped into the deeper levels of the mind yet. And because of this, we're still suffering in life. Because we're still surfing on the surface level of the mind. We're still at the tip of the iceberg. We haven't even looked deep within ourselves. It is said that meditation, when done properly and when understood properly and practiced properly, it allows us to take this outwardly directed attention inwards. So I really hope this rings a bell, because this is something that Guru Granth Sahib Ji tell us day in, day out. And that for us is Simran. Maharaj have blessed us with Simran because it directs our attention from this outside world, it takes it inwards. And that's what the purpose of Simran is. So we tap into that deeper level of the mind so that as we go in, we look into our mind and we go in deeper and deeper. As we do Simran, as we remember Vaheguru, we become quieter and quieter, and we find that complete silence within ourselves. Eventually we get there. And that, Sangat Ji, when we get to that complete silence where there's no thoughts, there's nothing, it's just Vaheguru. That's when we're experiencing Vaheguru. And this is why Maharaj has said, Man tu jot saroop hai, apna mool pachan. They're telling our mind, they're talking directly to our mind, they're telling our mind that Man tu jot saroop hai, that you are the form of Vaheguru. They're telling our mind that there's more to you than this just surface level activity that you're involved in every single day. There's more to you. There's more to our mind. They're saying, Apna mool pachan. Recognize your true origin. Recognize your root. And what is our root? It's Vaheguru. And as we delve deeper and deeper into our mind, we recognize that our true origin is Vaheguru. So when we reach that state of silence within ourselves, that is experiencing Vaheguru. And the meditation that he talked about is called transcendental meditation, which is just a fancy way of saying repeating a sound until our mind falls into deep rest. Again, I really hope this rings a bell, because what we just did is what he's talking about. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji told us about this a long time ago. And the science is just picking this up now. So repeating a sound, we said Vaheguru through our mouth, and we listen to Vaheguru through our ears attentively, consciously. And as we continue to do this for a longer period, we will reach that deeper state of the mind. We will go beyond the surface level. We will delve in deeper and deeper into our mind where there are no thoughts. The mind becomes quieter and we are in complete silence. So through chanting Vaheguru, we go in deeper in the mind and we experience the divine. And Maharaj tell us this. They say, Sab kish kar mein hai, bahar nahi. That everything that we want, everything that we need, what do we want? We want peace, we want bliss. The things that we need, they're within us. They're inside this house of ours. This body is our kar, is our house. Everything is within us. The peace, the bliss that we're looking for, the contentment that we're looking for, we're searching for it outside, but it's actually inside. Maharaj is saying, Sab kish kar mein hai, bahar nahi. It's not outside, it's within us. Bahar tolle so param pulahi. If we're looking for it outside, if we search for it outside, then we're deluded by doubt. We're living our life in doubt. We're not going to find it outside because it's not there. It's within us. Gur Prasadi jini antar paya. Through Guru's grace, those that have found that peace within themselves, so antar bahar so hela jio. So those that have connected with Vaheguru within themselves, they're happy. Inside and outside. Yes, Vaheguru is within everyone and everything. Vaheguru is outside of us as well. But until we connect with Vaheguru inside, then we cannot see Vaheguru in everyone and everything that is outside of us. So we need to connect within first. When we connect with Vaheguru within, then we're happy inside and outside. I'll give you a quick example of my beloved husband, Siddharth Ji here. They got this new Samsung. It's just funny how Gurbani relates quite literally to what I'm about to say. They got these new earphones and they were really happy about them, and then they lost them, of course. And they looked for them inside at home. They spent hours and hours just looking for their earphones. They couldn't find them. And then they looked on their Android. It showed that the location, the last time it was seen, and they showed a location where we went to a restaurant maybe like a few days ago, and it showed that it was there. That it was seen there last time. And Sardarji, they go back, they retrace their steps. You know, maybe it fell out of their pocket when we were getting in the car, out of the car. They couldn't find it. They couldn't find it on the sidewalk, couldn't find it in the restaurant or outside the restaurant. So what ended up happening, we thought, you know, we lost them, that's it. It's gone now, forget about it. Yeah, they were new, but what can we do? We lost them. So then comes along Harjap Singh, our little ball of energy, who is trying to walk now. So I was just sitting on the bedside, and they come along and they see their favorite book on the side table, and they try to grab it. And I tell Sardarji, I'm like, can you please look after Harjap Singh quickly? I'm just gonna go, I have to do something. So they come, and within seconds, within minutes, Sardarji's like, I found it. I'm like, what happened to you? What's going on? They said, I found the earphones. I'm like, where were they? Sab ke shikar mein, literally. They were literally on the side of the bed that they sleep on, and they didn't even notice them there. Everything is inside of us. Sab ke shikar mein. The earphones were inside, literally next to them, and they didn't realize. And that's the same thing with us. Vaheguru is within us, but we haven't realized that until we do Simran, only then can we get that vision that actually, yeah, Vaheguru is within us. Bahar nahi. The earphones weren't outside, they were at home. Bahar tolle, so parampalahi. We were looking for them outside, and we were wasting our time in the doubt that, you know what, that's it, they're gone now. Gur Prasadi jini antar paya. With Guru's grace, we got Harjap Singh to come along and, you know, play around the side table, and they found the earphones. And now antar bahar sohela jiyo. Sardarji is very happy inside and outside because they're able to listen to the Kirtan now using their earphones. I thought that was quite funny, how Gurbani relates to us quite literally as well sometimes. So in this month of Jeth, Maharaj is saying, Har Jeth judanda lodi hai, jis agga sab nivan. So in this month of Jeth, Har meaning Vaheguru, Jeth meaning the month of Jeth, judanda means to connect. Lodiya means we need to, that we should. Jis agga sab nivan, we should connect to the one that everybody bows down to. So here Guru Arjan Dev Ji are telling us that in this month of Jeth, awaken a desire within ourselves to connect to Vaheguru, the one that everybody bows down to. And Jeth here doesn't only mean the month, it also means someone that is Vadda, someone that is Sirmor, someone that is the highest of the high at the top. So here Maharaj is saying, in the month of Jeth, connect to Vaheguru, who is the highest of the high, the one that everybody bows down to. In our mind, ignite the need for Vaheguru. In our heart, feel the need for Vaheguru. Because until we feel the need for Vaheguru, we're not going to be able to connect. You know, the ones that we connect with, the people that we connect with, we message them, we call them up, we try to meet with them because we're connected to them, we want to see them. And the ones that we're not connected to, we don't even bother messaging, let alone meeting up. So until we feel the need to meet Vaheguru, until we feel the need to be with Vaheguru, we won't connect with Vaheguru. So this is why Maharaj is saying, in this month of Jeth, awaken the desire to connect with Vaheguru. And Bhai Pindarpal Singh Ji, a learned scholar of the Sikh Panth, they tell us how we can connect with Vaheguru, how we can awaken that desire. And they said one of the biggest ways to connect with Vaheguru is through Bairag, is through detachment from worldly pleasures. Sangaji, we're in so much love with the worldly things that are around us. In day-to-day life, we use so many things, materialistic things that are around us, most of the things that we need, but there's some things that we don't actually need, but we have them for the sake of it. So by Pindarpal Singh Ji, they said, letting go of things that we don't need, letting go of these things is a form of Bairag. From an outwardly perspective, we can think that living a simpler life, gathering less materialistic things, is letting go of things in life. Experiencing Vaheguru, just going out for, nature walks, that's the simplest thing we can do. And through that we can experience Vaheguru, through that we can experience Bairag. But from an inwardly perspective, Bairag can mean letting go of resentment, letting go of regrets, letting go of the mistakes that we've made in the past, letting go of mistakes that others have made that have affected us, and we keep on punishing ourselves over and over again, thinking about those mistakes. Let go of those things. And when we let go of those things, then that is a form of bairag. Then we feel that love for Vaheguru. Then we would want to connect with Vaheguru. So Maharaj going to say, they say, Har sajjan davan lagya, kise na dei ban. Har meaning Vaheguru, sajjan meaning our true friend, davan meaning the hem of God's robe. So here Maharaj is speaking metaphorically. They're saying that when we hold on to Vaheguru, meaning that when we seek the support of Vaheguru, then kise na dei ban. Then no one, nothing can tie us down in this world. Sant Singh Maskeen Ji, they said something quite interesting that relates to this quite beautifully. They said, every challenge we face in life, it reminds us again and again that except for Vaheguru, there's no one else that is our true support. Every challenge, every hardship we face in life, it reminds us again and again that except for Vaheguru, no one else is our true support. There might come a time where our family is not supportive. There might come a time where our friends don't speak to each other. They don't speak to us. There might come a time where there's no one there to help us. But in that moment, if we remember that our true sajjan, our true friend is Vaheguru, and we do ardas to Vaheguru, then Vaheguru can make anything happen. Vaheguru can send the right people in our life that will help us. Vaheguru can change our whole environment. Instead of knocking on doors to ask for help, let's ask Vaheguru for help, who has the power to change anything within seconds, within the blink of our eyes. So when we think about Vaheguru from that perspective, we're building a relationship with Vaheguru. Then we're connecting with the Vaheguru who is Jeth, who is the highest. So what are the signs of those that are holding on to Vaheguru? Someone that doesn't give fake compliments. Someone that doesn't do khushamat or chaplusi, doesn't butter people up, pump people up. Someone that, doesn't do these things so that people like them. Another sign of someone that is holding on to Vaheguru is that they don't slander about anyone, especially from a place of jealousy. And another sign of someone that's holding on to Vaheguru is, for them, Vaheguru is their true support. They know that Vaheguru will send the right people in their life when they need them. So Maharaj is telling us, those that come into the sanctuary of Vaheguru, they don't get tied down. But what are these bondages that tie us down in life? There's 3 types of bondages that tie us down. One is by externally, by our enemies. They might tie us down. Internally, we get tied down by the Panch Chor, the 5 thieves, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar, Kam, desires, Krodh, anger, Lobh, greed, Moh, attachment, Ahankar, egotistical pride. These things tie us down. And the third thing that ties us down in bondages is the messenger of death. When they come for this body, they tie us down. But those that chant God's name, those that remember Vaheguru, they don't get tied down by any of these things. Kise na dai ban. No one can tie them down. So Sangaji, essentially we're at the junction where we have 2 paths in front of us. We have the path of ego and we have the path of Nam in front of us. The path of ego ties us down, ties our body down to this world, ties our mind down to this world, and the path of Nam liberates our mind. So even in Gurbani it says, Hum hai naavai naal virodh hai, doye na vas hai ek thai. That hum hai, ego, naavai, the name of God, naal virodh hai, they oppose each other. Doye vas hai na ek thai, they cannot dwell alongside each other. It's either we're on the path of ego or we're on the path of Nam. We cannot be on those both paths at the same time. We might be dilly-dallying sometimes. Sometimes we're on the path of ego, sometimes on Nam, but we cannot be on both the paths at the same time. So let's look into these paths to see where we're standing in life so we can reflect what we're doing in life and what we need to do in the future. So the path of ego is created by our ignorance, that we don't truly know who we are. We are not connected to our roots, our origin, which is Vaheguru. We've forgotten that we are connected to Vaheguru, our origin. The path of ego is self-centered. We think that this body, our thoughts, our past trauma is who we are. On the path of ego, we think that whatever we see, whatever we have belongs to us. On the path of ego, we obtain anxiety. We obtain stress, we obtain worries, we obtain constant fear of losing, of separation from our loved ones, of failing. That's the path of ego. We get tied down by jealousy, by enmity, by hatred, by the panj chor. We lose our bliss, we lose anand, we lose contentment, we lose our peace on this path of ego. On the other hand, on the path of Nam, we cannot be tied down. Maharaj have said so themselves. Kise na dai ban. Because the path of Nam is holding on to Vaheguru's robe. The path of Nam is holding on to Vaheguru. It's realization that we're not this body, we're not our thoughts, we're not our past trauma, we're Vaheguru. And we're here to experience Vaheguru in everyone and everything. We're here to experience Vaheguru in different ways. So while we're walking on this path, we enshrine the positive qualities of this path, which is Sat, truth, contentment, Santokh. We feel satisfied in life. It's not that, we have one thing and then we look for another thing. When we get the right career, we want another thing coming up next. It's not that we're constantly searching for something. When we're on the path of Nam, we have found the thing that we were looking for the most, and that's the peace, and we're content now. We're satisfied in life. We don't need anything else. On this path of Nam, we obtain compassion. We become compassionate. We become dayavan. On this path of Nam, we obtain patience. We have tiraj. So if we start to have these qualities within us, it means that we're on the path of Nam and we're getting closer to Vaheguru. And this is something for us to reflect on. Which path are we on? Are we walking egotistically? Do we have ego in our lives? Is that what we're doing? We're talking down to everybody? We're speaking negatively to everybody? Are we saying that I'm the best and that's it? Looking down upon others, judging others? Or are we walking on the path of Nam? Are we getting closer to Vaheguru? And even if we're on the path of ego, we can do ardas. Nothing is permanent. We can do ardas to Maharaj to put us on the path of Nam. Because it's never too late, Sangaji. Each breath that we take is our opportunity to change our life around. And we can change our life if we just come to the sanctuary of our Guru and do ardas. So even Gurbani says, Aap sawar hai, main milya, sukh hoye. That there's a conversation that's happening between Vaheguru and Bhagat Farid Ji, where Vaheguru is saying, Aap sawar hai, main milya. That they're saying to Bhagat Farid Ji, if you change yourself, if you reform yourself, if you improve yourself, then main milya, then you can meet me. And main milya sukh hoye. When we meet me, then you obtain peace, then you're at peace. Farida je tu mera hoye rahe, sab jag tera hoye. They're saying to Bhagat Farid Ji, if you become mine, then this whole world is yours. So if we change ourselves, if we let go of the bad habits, the previous mental programming that we have, judgment, jealousy, hatred towards others, bad thoughts towards ourselves and others, and we adopt the qualities of truth, of contentment, of compassion, of patience, then we're experiencing Vaheguru. Then we have reached home. Maharaj going to say, Manik moti naam prabh un lagya nahi san. Manik meaning jewels, moti means pearls. Naam prabh, name of God is like the jewels, is like the pearls. Un lagya nahi san. They cannot be taken away, they cannot be stolen away. So naam is like a precious jewel or a pearl because not everybody enshrines it in their heart. That's why it's precious. And with the Naam, we lose our worries, we lose our fears, we lose our anxiety, and we obtain peace, we obtain contentment, we obtain happiness, the bliss. Naam isn't like any worldly jewels that can be stolen away. The worldly jewels can be stolen away by thieves, but Naam is not like that. This jewel of Naam, this wealth of Naam cannot be stolen away, cannot be taken away. Gurbani is saying that. And Bibi Gurpreet Kaur from Basics of Sikhi, she used a quite interesting analogy where she said, in this world, we earn money, we put it in our bank accounts, and then we spend money because we have to pay for mortgages, we have to pay for bills, we have to buy food, buy clothing. And as we spend that money, it comes down and down, it start to get less and less, and then we have to work hard again to keep on, putting the money back in the bank so that we can spend more. But the wealth of Naam is such, no matter how much we use it, it never gets depleted, it never gets exhausted, no matter how much we use the wealth of Naam. And that's what we're here to collect. That's what we've been sent here for in this human form, to collect the wealth of Naam. And instead of getting depleted, it keeps on growing and growing. And even in Gurbani it says, Har tan amrit vela vatta ka bijya bhagat khaye kharcha rahe nikutta nahi. That har tan, that the wealth of God, amrit vela vatta ka bijya. If we plant the seed of God's name, At Amrit Vela, ambrosial hours, which is between 3 to 6, some say 3 to 6, some say 12 to 6. Basically, after 12, before sunrise, if you can think like that, to make things a bit simpler. If we plant God's name at ambrosial hours, at Amrit Vela, then Bhagat Khai Kharch Rahe Nikutta Nahi. The devotees, they can spend it as much as they want to, but it will never get exhausted. It'll never come to an end. Unlike the worldly banks that do get depleted, this bank of Naam never gets depleted. So this is the bank that we need to invest in. That's what Maharaj is saying. In this month of Jeth, remember Vaheguru, chant God's name, meditate upon Vaheguru, try to get to those deeper levels of the mind such that we start collecting this wealth of Naam that cannot be taken away from us. And there's a whole Ashtapadi, why do we even want to collect, why do we even want to think about Naam? Why do we want to do Simran at Amrit Vela? It's so hard as it is, but why do we want to do it? There's a whole Ashtapadi in Sukhmani Sahib that talks about the importance of Naam. What happens to those people that chant God's name? And I just picked a few things because the whole Ashtapadi is really long. Maharaj tell us, those that chant God's name, they don't come into the cycle of birth and death. They become fearless. There's no fear of failure. There's no fear of losing anything or anyone. There's no fear of death. Those people, they come out of this matrix, this maya, this illusion, and they awaken and they have self-realization that they are Vaheguru. Their hopes are fulfilled. They dwell in peace. Their mind becomes pure. And they generously help others. Within them, Vaheguru resides because they have connected to Vaheguru within. And they get known in all 4 directions of the world, north, south, east, west. So think about Mahapurkhs. We all, maybe know one Mahapurkh in our life at least, hopefully. And if you don't, that's okay as well. And, Mahapurkhs, they came maybe 50 years ago, 100 years ago. We still remember them till today. And we're going to continue remembering them even in the future because they have connected to Vaheguru. They're one with Vaheguru. And because they've connected to Vaheguru, they are known all around the world. So let's look into the life of Guru Nanak Dev Ji to understand what a true jewel is for us. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji and Bhai Mardana Ji, they would often travel all around the world. And this time they were traveling to Sri Patna Sahib. And interestingly, Sri Patna Sahib is located in the state of Bihar. And interestingly, this is the same city that Guru Gobind Singh Ji took form in as well. So they came to Sri Patna Sahib. And instead of going into the city, they decided to stay in the outskirts of the city. So they found a tree, a shaded tree, and Maharaj decided to sit there and immerse themselves in the love for Vaheguru. So imagine now, you can close your eyes and try to understand, try to feel, try to imagine the scene that is being set. That the sun is setting and Maharaj is sitting under the tree, and you see that there's really beautiful colors in the sky. The sun is setting. Bhai Mardana Ji is playing the rabab. They're playing these beautiful melodies, and Maharaj or Guru Nanak Dev Ji are singing Kirtan. They're singing the praises of Vaheguru, and the sun is setting, and you can see that the stars are starting to shine through. They're twinkling. You can see the moonlight coming through as well, and Guru Nanak Dev Ji are completely immersed in the love for Vaheguru. They're singing this Kirtan, this praises of Vaheguru. And Bhai Mardana Ji are completely immersed in the love for Vaheguru. They're enjoying themselves so much. The whole energy, the whole environment is electrifying. It's such a beautiful scene. That night, Bhai Mardana Ji, they go to sleep hungry. The next day comes. And again, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, they're singing the praises of Vaheguru. The sun is setting. The stars are twinkling. The moon is shining through. It's such a beautiful sight. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji are remembering Vaheguru. Bhai Mardana Ji are playing the rabab. But this time, Bhai Mardana Ji, they're a bit sad, because their stomach starts rumbling and they're really hungry. They talk to Guru Nanak Dev Ji. They know that Guru Nanak Dev Ji is their true friend. They can talk to Guru Nanak Dev Ji about anything. They talk to Guru Nanak Dev Ji and they say, Maharaj, I'm really hungry. We didn't have any food to eat yesterday. We haven't eaten in 2 days. I'm really hungry. Guru Nanak Dev Ji, they looked back at Bhai Mardana Ji and they smiled. And they said, why don't you go into the city and buy some food? And Bhai Mardana Ji, they smiled back at Guru Nanak Dev Ji and they said, how am I supposed to find food? How am I supposed to buy food? We have no money. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji, they bent down and they picked up a stone beneath their feet. They looked into the sand, they picked up a stone, a red stone beneath their feet, and they said, take this, take it to the city and sell it and buy some food. So Bhai Mardana Ji, they got really happy. They said, tomorrow I'm going to go. So the next day came, and Bhai Mardana Ji, imagine they're making their way to the city, to Sri Patna Sahib. And as they're going, they see different shops in front of them. And the first shop they come across is a vegetable shop. And they go to the shopkeeper and they say, I'm really hungry. I have this red stone. What will you give me in exchange? And the shopkeeper, he looks at the stone, he starts examining it. He said, this stone is useless for me. It has no value for me. But if you're really hungry, I can give you one radish. I can give you one muli in exchange for this stone, and I'll give this stone to my children to play with. And Bhai Mardana Ji weren't satisfied. They thought, my guru has given me this stone. It can't be useless. So they didn't like that. They went to another shop. The next shop they came across was a sweet shop. They came to the halwai and they said, I have this red stone. I'm really hungry. What can you give me in exchange for this red stone? And the halwai, he said, he looked at the stone, he said, this is not of any use for me. But if you're really hungry, I can just give you a bunch of sweets and keep this stone to measure things in the shop. Bhai Mardana Ji again, they said, useless? No way. My guru gave this to me. It cannot be useless. They went to the next shop, and another shopkeeper offered them a yard of cloth for exchange for the stone. And Bhai Mardana Ji again were not satisfied. So they kept on going from one shop to another, and eventually they met someone that said, why don't you take this stone to a jeweler's shop? So Bhai Mardana Ji said, yeah, that's a good idea. They make their way to the jeweler's side of the city where all the shops were, and they came across a shop that's owned by Salis Rai Juari, Salis Rai the jeweler. At that time, Salis Rai wasn't there, but his assistant Adraka was there, and he greeted Bhai Mardana Ji with a lot of love. He said, come on in, where are you from? How can I help you? And Bhai Mardana Ji, they said, I've come from another part of the country, but I'm here in a hurry. I want to sell this stone that I have, and I would like to get some money for it, and I'm in a hurry. I'd like to go soon. And Adraka said, wait here, I'm going to get my boss, and he'll come sort things out. So Salis Rai comes around, and he greets Bhai Mardana Ji to say, who are you and where have you come from? Bhai Mardana Ji said, I'm Mardana. I've come from Punjab, the land of 5 rivers. And Salis Rai said, what are you here for? He said, I have this stone that I want to sell to you. And Salis Rai said, okay, come on, let's see the stone then. So imagine Bhai Mardana Ji opening up the pouch, and out comes this lustrous red stone. And Salis Rai, he is examining the stone with so much wonder, he cannot believe his eyes. He tells Adraka straight away, go get 100 rupees and give it to Bhai Mardana Ji. I cannot believe I'm looking at this stone. This is amazing. And Bhai Mardana Ji is a bit confused, just like all of us here. What's going on? And Bhai Mardana Ji said, why are you giving me 100 rupees? You know, there were people that, other shopkeepers, one offered me a radish, one offered me a bunch of sweets, one offered me a yard of cloth, and you're giving me 100 rupees? That's a lot of money. Why? And Salis Rai, he said, my Ustad Ji, my teacher, as I was studying to become a jeweler, told me, if I ever come across a stone like this, even just to get a glimpse of this stone, I need to give some peta, I need to give some money. This stone is no ordinary stone. This is a philosopher's stone. It's paras. It has the ability to turn any metal into gold. That's what you're carrying, Bhai Mardana Ji. Bhai Mardana Ji were shook. They said, I had no idea. Sab kish kar mein hai. We have this jewel of Naam in our hands. We're reciting God's name every day, but we don't realize that it's a jewel. We're just saying it. Maybe, we are saying it because that's what we're supposed to do as a Sikh. But what is our intention while we're doing Simran? What is our intention while we're reading Gurbani? What is our intention while we're doing Seva, when we're coming to the satsang? Why are we doing it? Is it for the sake of it? Is it because I get brownie points when I die? Or is it because I want to connect with Vaheguru? So Bhai Mardana Ji, they get taken away. And Salis Rai said, take the stone and take the money. Thank you for showing this to me. So Bhai Mardana Ji, they make their way back to Guru Nanak Dev Ji. So imagine Bhai Mardana Ji doing Matha Tek. and they have the biggest smile on their face. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji, they look at Bhai Mardana Ji and they're saying, Mardanya, ki gal bada khush disda hai, what's going on? Why are you so happy? And Bhai Mardana Ji said, look Maharaj, I went to sell the stone, and some people offered me a radish first, some people offered me some sweets, some people offered me a yard of cloth. But this jeweler, he gave me 100 rupees and didn't even keep the stone. He gave me the stone back. And at that time, Guru Nanak Dev Ji said, no, this is not right. You need to sell this stone. We cannot keep both. You got to live an honest life. So Bhai Mardana Ji, they make their way back to Salisrai, and they said, my master has sent me back. And Salisrai is shook. He said, I told you this is a philosopher's stone. It can turn any metal into gold, yet your master has still sent you back to try to sell it to me? I can't believe it. And Salisrai, he asks Bhai Mardana Ji, why do you want to sell this stone? And Bhai Mardana Ji said, I want to buy some food. And Salisrai at that time, he said, even if I sell all the jewelry in the shop, even if I sell this shop, even if I sell everything that belongs to me, I cannot buy this stone. This stone is precious. Again, this is the same stone that others that didn't know the value of, they were offering a radish or some sweets. And here, Salisrai is saying, I cannot sell this, I cannot buy this stone from you. So Bhai Mardana Ji, they go back to Guru Nanak Dev Ji. They said he didn't accept it. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji said, you need to go back. We cannot keep both. Either you give the stone, sell the stone, or give the money. We cannot keep both. And at that time, Bhai Mardana Ji said, but Maharaj, I'm so tired. I'm exhausted. I'm hungry. I have no energy to go back. And they could talk like that with Guru Nanak Dev Ji because they saw Guru Nanak Dev Ji as their true friend. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji said, I know, but go back. Listen to the bachan. And Bhai Mardana Ji did. And Salisrai, again so shook, he said, I can't believe this. He said, I'm going to come see the master that you're talking about. And I'll bring some food for you as well because you're hungry. So they come and the assistant brings the food. And when both the assistant and Salisrai, they get the vision of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Imagine Guru Nanak Dev Ji sitting down in front of us. They're doing Kirtan. They're singing the praises of Vaheguru, completely immersed in the love for Vaheguru. Both Salisrai and Adarka get taken away by that. And within them, something changes. Within them, Naam starts to vibrate. It's the same Guru that's in front of us. It's the same Kirtan that the kids were singing. It's the same Gurbani. It's our soch, it's our perspective, it's our feeling, it's our emotion that we sing the Gurbani with, that we talk about our Guru with, the emotion that we talk about our Guru with, it determines the connection we have with our Guru. So at that time, Salisrai, he realized that the jewels that he's been doing business of, they were nothing. The true jewel is the jewel of Naam, is the praises of Vaheguru. And at that moment, Bhai Mardana Ji asked Guru Nanak Dev Ji a very important question. They said, how come, some people, they throw stones at us, some people slander us, some people disrespect us, but some people come and bow down to you, some people love us. Why? What's the difference in this treatment? Why do people treat us differently? And at that time, Guru Nanak Dev Ji used the example of Bhai Mardana Ji's experience, and they said, when you went to sell the stone, some people offered you a radish, some people offered you some sweets, some people offered you a yard of cloth, is because they didn't know the value of the stone. That's why they were offering you these things. But the one that knew the value of the stone gave you 100 rupees just to even look at it. That is the difference between someone that knows the value of Naam and someone that doesn't know the value of Naam. The ones that know the value of Naam, they're vibrating on Naam day and night. They're remembering Vaheguru. They're connecting with Vaheguru in those ambrosial hours, that Amrit Vela. Those that don't know the value of Naam, they're letting this life pass by. It's getting wasted. So Sangat Ji, even Maharaj tell us, Avar kaj tera kita nakam, mil saad sangat paj keval naam, that everything else is useless. The only thing that's going to help us is saad. Within the saad sangat, chant the name of God. And that's what we're here for. That's what the whole Katha series is about, so that we get this opportunity to come within the Sangat and learn about Gurbani and learn about Vaheguru. That is so amazing. Maharaj go on to say, Rang sabhe Narayana, jete man pavan. That Rang sabhe, everything that we see, sara kuch jeda sara pasara hega, Paramatma de rang ne. Everything that we see, every experience that we have is all colors of Vaheguru. They're pleasurable to our mind. Jo har lode so kare soi ji karan. Whatever Vaheguru wants, Vaheguru acts that way, and the creatures, the beings, they act in according to that will of God. So everything happens within the Hookum of Vaheguru, within the command of Vaheguru, and everybody acts within that command. The easiest way to understand Hookum is that there's a cause and effect relationship. So every action that we do has a reaction. Every action that we do has a reaction. We have free will to perform an action, whether it's good or bad. Let's say we do a good action, the outcome is good. If we do a bad action, the outcome is bad. But every action has a reaction, and the outcome of that action, the consequences of that action, isn't up to us. It's up to us to do the action, but the outcome of that action is up to Vaheguru, is under the command of Vaheguru. That's Hookum. So as we chant God's name, we realize that nothing is under our control. Everything is just happening. That I am not the one doing seva. When we take that I out of us, then we see the works of Vaheguru within everyone and everything. We see that Vaheguru is the one that's doing seva. Vaheguru is the one doing everything. I'm not doing anything. Everything is happening under Vaheguru's control. महाराज से जो प्रभ कीते आपने से ही कहिए है तन जिन्हों परमात्मा ने अपना बना लिया वो तन तन दे योग ने. Those that Vaheguru makes their own are blessed. Maharaj tell us आपन लिया जे मिला विछड़ क्यों रवन. If we could meet Vaheguru through our own effort, if we say I am the one doing seva, I'm the one doing Simran, oh look how much Simran I do, look how much seva I do, oh look I come into the Sad Sangat, I'm putting in this effort and connecting to Vaheguru, then why are we still miserable in this life? Why are we still sad? What's the reason for that? The truth is we cannot meet Vaheguru, we cannot connect Vaheguru through our own effort. It has to come through surrenderance. It has to come through Guru's grace. Only Maharaj can bless us such that we connect with Vaheguru. It can only come through that. It cannot come from our own effort. So that's what Maharaj is saying. That if we can meet Vaheguru through our own effort, then why are we still separated? Why are we still crying out in pain? Why is our life so miserable? So Maharaj going to say, Sadhu sang parapate nanak rang manan. That sadhu sang, within the company of the sad sangat, parapate, we meet Vaheguru, we experience Vaheguru. Nanak rang manan, we experience, we enjoy the colors, we enjoy the bliss that is already within us. We get in touch with our inner self. We get into the deeper levels of the mind, and we experience that bliss, that peace that is already within us. And Bhai Pindarpal Singh Ji, they said something very beautiful. They said, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮੰਜ਼ਿਲ ਨੂੰ ਪਹੁੰਚਣ ਲਈ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਈ ਜਨਮ ਲੱਗ ਸਕਦੇ ਨੇ, ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸੀ ਜਨਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਸ ਮੰਜ਼ਿਲ ਤੇ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ. So the destination that takes maybe so many lifetimes, so many life forms it can take us to get to that destination, which is Vaheguru, we can reach that destination in this life if we come into the Sad Sangat. That is the power of the Sad Sangat that we're in right now. Thought that was really beautiful, quite life-changing as well. So when we come into the Sangat and chant God's name, we go through 3 types of transformations. One, we start to live within the will of Vaheguru. Whether we're happy, we remember Vaheguru. When we're sad, we remember Vaheguru. When we're facing challenges, hardships, we remember Vaheguru. We accept these challenges. And we don't say, why me all the time. We say, thank you for this challenge, for this hardship, because it's allowing me to grow. I don't see it right now, but I know when I look back at this time, I know I will say that this challenge, this hardship made me stronger. We feel barag and we cry out of love. That's the second type of transformation. And the third transformation that we go through is that we live our life in vismad, in awe and wonder. Look at our life, look at our body itself. It's a masterpiece. We eat something, it gets digested, and then the enzymes within the body break it down and the nutrients get drawn up by the blood and they go to the different organs. Living life in awe like that, in wonder, that is connecting to Vaheguru. So Maharaj say, Rang hasse rang rovahe chup pi kar jahe parwah nahi kiseh keri baaj sache nah. That within the love of God they laugh, in the love of God they cry out of barag. Chup pi kar jahe, they become silent as well. They reach that state of silence within. They don't go around telling everybody about their connection to God, they keep it hidden. Chup pi kar jahe parwah nahi kiseh keri baaj sache nah. They don't care about anyone else, they only care about Vaheguru, their beloved. They don't care about anyone else's opinion. They're not here to satisfy anyone else in life. They're here to satisfy Vaheguru. And that's what we want to become. Maharaj, lastly, they say, Har Jeth Rangila tis tani jiska pag mathan. In the month of Jeth, Rangila meaning playful, Vaheguru, meets those that have good destiny written upon their forehead. Those that feel the barag, those that feel the longing for Vaheguru, they're the ones that get to meet Vaheguru. And Sangaji, if we don't have this destiny written upon our forehead in this life, we can do Ardas to Maharaj to write that destiny for us. It's never too late. We can do that. And Maharaj can change anything and anyone. That can happen. There's so many examples. Look at Ganika, the prostitute that changed, her life changed completely when she started chanting Ram. Look at Sajjan Tug, meeting Vaheguru, meeting Guru Nanak Desai Ji, his whole life transformed, his whole life changed. Look at Kodda Raksh, it's the same Guru. Kodda Raksh became Pai Kodda Ji. His life changed upon meeting the Guru by listening to the Gurbani that Guru Nanak Desai Ji were singing, Guru Nanak Desai Ji were reciting. It's the same Guru, it's the same Gurbani, nothing has changed. What has changed is our mind. Where is our mind at? What perspective are we looking at Gurbani from? Do we have a connection with our Guru? Because that will determine what we do in this life. So lastly, the lessons of this month is to reflect on and ask ourselves, do we have the desire within ourselves to meet Vaheguru, to connect with Vaheguru? And if we don't, then do Ardas to get that desire. Which path am I on? Am I on the path of ego or am I on the path of Naam? And lastly, do Ardas for Guru's Kirpa, because without that Kirpa, without that grace, we cannot reunite with Vaheguru. So Sangaji, this is the message for the month of Jeth. And I really hope that we all took something valuable back with us, and we'll take something valuable back with us. And thank you so much for your support and your love. And because of that support, because of that love, we're able to do these Katha Kirtan programs. Thank you so much. And please forgive me for all the mistakes I've made. You're the Sangha that you can bless us. Deho Sajjana Siriyan Jehovah Sahib Se Umel. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa. Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.